But it's unfortunate that when you go sometimes into Muslim countries, or you see some of the people who pray and fast, and I mean, I don't want to beat that down, forgive me for that, I'm just using an example, who argue and quarrel and fight, that does not represent the knowledge of the Quran. That is that they are worshippers. Yeah, they are worshippers, but they are not living by the guidelines of the Quran. And I don't want to get into this topic in detail. I only want to touch the point, bi'idhnillah, that we need to live by the Quran and refer to the Quran. Because divisions, disputes, disunity is a result of jahiliyyah, ignorance. That's what Allah is saying here with bayyinat. That if we have the true understanding of this Quran that has made things clear for us as to how to live, we won't argue, we won't dispute, we won't make divisions and fight. But it's sad. It's sad. It's sad. I remember a brother once told me, he said one brother held him down and was quarreling so much with him and said, I know the whole Quran and I know all the hadith. Yeah? Oh, yeah. The brother told me that, yeah. He said this brother told him, I know the whole Quran and I know all the hadith. And he was arguing and quarreling. So when the brother told me that, I said, you need to tell him that he probably read the whole Quran. He probably know all their hadith, but he does not live by it. Samajh kya? Because if we understand the Quran and we understand the hadith, we will not argue and quarrel. You know the very famous saying? When a wise man and an ignorant man argue, it is not a wise man arguing with an ignorant man. What is it? It's two ignorant people arguing. Because a wise man will not, and when I say argue, I don't mean discuss. I don't mean intellectual discussion. I mean quarrel, attitude, bad mannerism. Oh, some people start to use all curse languages. That's a sign. You know when people curse and talk, it's a sign of lack of knowledge. When people use obscene language and speak, it's a sign of lack of knowledge. They lack vocabulary. They lack what? Yeah, vocabulary. So they couldn't find a word to use, so they use an obscene language. Some people think it's macho, it's big, it's brave, it's bad. It's not bad. It's a sign of ignorance. It's a sign of lack of wisdom and understanding. And that's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us in this Surah Al-Imran, chapter 3, verse 105, وَلَا تَكُونُوا كَالَّذِينَ تَفَرَّقُوا. Do not be like those people before who divided themselves and make division amongst themselves, who had disputes among themselves. Ikhtilaf. We can differ. People are free to differ and have differences of opinion. The Ashab Ajma'een, the companions of the Prophet ﷺ, they had many differences of opinion, but they did not fight and argue and dispute and made divisions among themselves. They differed on intellectual matters. See my point? And it's sad to see that this is happening amongst many Muslims, when we should be demonstrating the knowledge of the Quran to the world, to humanity. كنتم خير أمة أخرجت للناس تأمرون بالمعروف وتنهون عن المنكر. Allah says in Surah Al-Imran again, chapter 3, verse 110, that Allah chose us as Muslims to enjoin good and forbid evil, and chose us linnas for humanity, that we can be good exemplars to humanity when it comes to enjoining good and forbidding evil. But unfortunately, we who have received the Quran, read the Quran, recite the Quran 10 times in Ramadan, every day we read it. but we don't live by it. We don't follow it. We, linnas, the enjoining good and forbidding evil, Allah chose us as Muslims for humanity to set that example. But you know what? When humanity look at the Muslim world, they see Pakistan and Bangladesh fighting. They see Saudi Arabia and Yemen fighting. They see Muslims and Muslims fighting in the Muslim countries. They see Muslims in America fighting, people arguing. What is that? That's not a sign of understanding the Quran. We probably read the Quran, but we don't understand the Quran. Because Allah is saying, after we have received this message of the Quran, bayinat, with clarification and clarity, we should not argue, dispute, and create divisions. Very deep. I don't want to get too much into that. Time will cut us short for the second khutbah.